because you don't even have a system even for treatment for them to stick outside of your coping strategies. Like, that's not good enough. You feel me? Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to a day in the life of a clinical psychologist, wife, and mom. And in today's vlog, I am going to be chit-chatting with y'all about what it is like to have a child in your 30s, 40s, in terms of like having a young kid. And this is a topic that, you know, me and my friends talk about a lot, those who waited to have kids or some who still may not have kids, and just thinking about like how things have changed in terms of what does help look like unless you get paid help to, you know, watch your kids. What does it look like for support? And then also what it looks like for being able to hang out with your spouse, your partner, maybe because of the lack of maybe proximity support. And so I'm actually on my way to a nail shop. I'm gonna hang out with y'all for the rest of today, maybe even the beginning of tomorrow. But what I have planned today, I just dropped off my son at my sister's house. I'll go into that right now. And then I'm going to go to the nail shop, and then I'm going to go hang out at the house, potentially edit some vlogs. I'm not sure, maybe clean up or just do nothing. And then I'm going to tonight go out with my husband. One of my friends from high school actually is having an all white party tonight. And it's very rare that I get out and go out, like out. So I'm going to do that because I don't think me and my husband have been out since his birthday in April, and y'all, it's September. So we're going to do that tonight, and then we'll have a kidless house. We're dropping off the teenager in terms of what the other side of my house looks like. My husband is going to go to our eldest son's football game today. He actually should be leaving the house right now. It's 10:54, and his pregame starts at, I think, 11 or 12, and then the game starts at 1, or I don't know. But the game is today, and then my husband's going to drive back. We don't live close to the city at all. We live about 40 miles out of LA. But my husband and I are going to go home, get dressed. I'm waiting on my Fashion Nova dress to be delivered because your girl ain't got no white, all white, right? My husband got an outfit too. So we'll see how that pans out. Hopefully everything fits like it's supposed to, because I ain't got no backup. I do not like going to the mall. And then we'll head to the party. So let's go ahead and get this drive chit chat going on. All right, y'all. So headed to the nail shop. So let me let y'all get to know me a little bit better, because some things are definitely just like not, I'm gonna say, public record. I may have said them a few times, maybe in more of my intimate groups with my clients, but most people don't know a little bit more about me than I'm gonna share right now. So I had my son at 38 years young, and I have a whole series on YouTube about that. I'll link that in the show notes or in the description box. But had him at 38, and you know, I knew that I was starting parenthood a little later, but I really didn't think about potential lack of support that I might have in terms of, like, you know, me and my husband want to go out, you know, yeah, I can hire a babysitter, but you know, I also have a mom, I have uncles, you know, I have, you know, big extended families, and so does my husband, so we'll be okay. And so before, you know, clearly I got pregnant, we had my oldest son, my stepson. And when I met him, he was 4 going on 5. And when my son was born, he was 7. So they're 7 years apart. And again, because the eldest son was typically around like his mom's side or my husband's extended side, I didn't really, you know, think about how my son, biological son, may be impacted. So I am an only child from my mom. I said that I was at my sister's house. My sister is on my dad's side. I believe growing up, we were closer when we were younger. And then, teenagers live their lives, their best lives. She's older than me by 2 years or a year and a half or something like that. So clearly, you tend with all family members, I think, usually part, not all, but some, you part ways or kind of just do your own thing. And then, we would stay connected, like if I'm home or she home, based on me living in the Bay Area or her living out of state at one point. We just stay connected like here and there through like social media, link up when it's graduation time, milestone time, we're good. And then our sons are 1 year apart from each other. So it was crazy. The day that she gave birth was the same week I found out I was pregnant. I think it was low key to say, wait, no, let me see. It was the same week. And then when she got home, I ended up buying her a stroller for the baby. And I wasn't going to tell her that I was pregnant yet. I didn't tell anybody. But also, I'm a big advocate for me personally. Like, I will celebrate myself. But when somebody's in their celebration mode, I'm not saying we can't celebrate together, but I want all eyes on them. You feel me? Like, I don't want to shift the attention on anything else. So, I told her later. But our sons are 1 year apart from each other. They're both boys. And they have names that almost rhyme, not by purpose, because someone else had named Avery, right? Like, we let my eldest godson, name Avery. So, anyways, we started, I feel like, getting better connected once both of the babies were born. And we clearly knew at that moment that they, needed to be around each other because they both, at least right now, are the only child from their moms. So that's a little bit of historical context. Now, my family, because I mentioned that my oldest son, he's around both sides of the family. My husband's side is extremely big. My side of the family from my mom is also extremely big, and so is my father's. I will go to my father's side usually when it's like an annual picnic or something like that, but I'm not close to that side of the family. If somebody, I just went to a wedding, I'll get invited to those things if it's like a family function. But I also think that a lot of people didn't have my information, and then some people on my dad's side don't even know that I exist, and that's always an awkward moment. I'll probably, talk about that in another video, because again, I just think that these are things that are happening all around us, and then people expect, or maybe we put this on us, we have to put on a certain face to be able to run our business, especially online, to be there for our children. And our children should know that parents have emotion, guaranteed. I never want to shield, crying in front of my son, because I want him to know that crying is a natural emotion, or anger, but to a degree, I'm saying protect your children from when you have outbursts, what I'm saying? And so I say all that because emotionally, it is a trigger, even in my 40s, when sometimes I go around the family. My father's siblings, I'm good. It's usually when someone says, my son looks like my nephew, and then they get them mixed up. And I'm like, no, that's my son. I say his name. And then they'll be like, oh, wait, who are you? And I'm just thinking yeah, and then I'll say, and it's usually when I say my sister's name, oh, I'm her sister. It's almost like I'm her sister, but not his son. You get me? So that's a whole nother topic. But I went through my healing forgiveness phase. I've done all that. I actually talked about it on one YouTube video. I don't think it's published, but I did it more on the mental health side of why forgiveness is important, especially with a caregiver and all that kind of stuff. So I say all that to say that my mom's side is huge, right? So my grandfather on my mom's side had 20 siblings, y'all. Now, I'm definitely not close to that side because they are literally in Arkansas, Bakersfield. They just so spread out. And I know that there's 4 clusters of family members. That's pretty much to the degree. My mom and my uncle and them know more. We used to go to family reunions, whatever. So if I'm looking at support or doing things for my son, I would literally have to do some, I'm gonna say, if you know my age, Ricky Lake type stuff. You know what I'm saying? To reach out and get a hold of family members. And so my mom's mom, I'm way more closer. So my mom has 3 brothers. I have 3 now at this point, 5 adult cousins, and then everybody else is everybody's kids. cousins or whatever. But here's the thing that people don't know about me. And sometimes I think in my head that people are like, damn, like she travels a lot in certain seasons. But like outside of that, people always think I'm gone when I'm very much so sitting at my house, twiddling my toes on the couch, And it's because of this. Majority of my mom's, or of the family that I'm gonna say I'm close with, actually don't live in California. If I were to give you a percentage, it's more like 85 to 90% of family, especially family in which I will want my kid around because they have kids as well. 85% are not here. So hence why Avery is typically with us. Now you may be thinking, well, you said your mom has 3 brothers. Okay, so 2 of the brothers live here. One is with my grandma, and my son can go over there, but to a degree I need somebody to like watch him because he's still 6, he be inside of stuff. But I mean, he can go over there, maybe not spend a night. My mom still works very much full time, and then she also does tax season. So until she retires, I don't have the typical grandma that is like, mama that's at home or not working or just, my mom is very much in her life. You feel me? As she should. And so I don't expect my mom to be like, I'll take Avery for like 3 weeks. Like, that's not even the kind of parent that I am, right? But I've just realized that when it comes down to dating my husband, when it comes down to me just wanting a break, when it comes down to I just want to do nothing and not have any kids in my house, I've slowly started to realize, and I've been knowing this for years, but I think it's hitting me harder now that Avery is like a little bit more self-sufficient, that like, wow, outside of going over my mom's house, outside of going over my sister's house, which we've tried to make it like more consistent where we swap at least twice a month. So like she'll get Avery even for 1 or 2 days. Like this is only his, I think, 2nd or 3rd time going over there. I think my nephew has been over a few more times because my sister is in the medical field. So sometimes, like, for example, if she's working overnight, it actually works for us to be like, oh, cool, just drop him off. Or like, you got to go to work. Cool, I'll pick him up. We going to go to Avery's birthday party, whatever. And so he may have come over our house, or maybe we have like a function and they'll come over or whatever. But bottom line is I want my son to be around more children, which is why he's in sports. And I also want him to be honestly around more of his family. We have a lot of kids that are his age. They just don't live in the state. So I just wanted to let y'all know that because I feel like, when women and men maybe even start for the first time having children, we don't think about the longevity of even how long our parents are going to be around. I broke the cycle in terms of my mom, my grandmother, and my great grandmother. To what I know, we're all 20 years apart, exactly 20 years. When it came down to my son, now we're talking about like 38 years, right? And I don't know what that's going to mean for him because generations change. But I know for me, nobody forced me to like wait or do pregnancy early. I actually wanted a baby at 25. I had the all the baby fever, hence I got my first dog. That didn't replace the child clearly, but I was in grad school and the partner I was with at the time was like, why don't you just get a dog or something? Because, I don't know how you're going to do with a child and do your doctoral program at that time. And I was like, you're right. And so it was what it was. And then when I got, pregnant with my son, it's a blessing clearly. But I just know that I am more than usual thinking about like my son is now asking questions about heaven because his grandfather is there. The 2 dogs that were around when he was a baby was there. So it's just like all of these intricate details that I really didn't think about. And I don't regret clearly waiting to have a child because I got the child that I was supposed to have, right? However, it doesn't make conversations easier with a 6-year-old when they're asking about heaven literally every other day and trying to figure out like, is heaven a place? Is heaven a person? And we've read books to him. We let him watch kid YouTube's videos about it. We've had conversations with him, but he's in a curious stage where it's like whatever we said yesterday, it didn't get heard. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't tell him. So hence why I'm really excited that me and my sister are doing what we're doing now to make sure that at least the two boys, because we do live, like, I'm gonna say within a 30-minute proximity of one another, and they're around the same age, they're really close when they get around each other. I really want them to honestly be like brothers. And then, of course, me and my husband doing our due diligence to make sure that we're setting up play dates, that we're staying connected with like neighbors that we live around, that we're taking our kid out, which we do, and let him play on the playground, and he knows all the kids where we live at. And that's also another concern of mine, because I've recognized that when we go and look at homes to own a home, like our next home, because we rent a townhome right now, I've realized that when I go over there, it may be a community playground, but a lot of them don't have that. And I don't see kids outside. And I'm not talking about when it's hot. I'm just saying, like, kids are literally not outside. And I'm just like, okay, so we're going to leave this townhome community because we do want to own a home and pay the same amount we pay in rent in a mortgage. But at the same time, now we're literally going to have to, like, we can't just say go outside and we'll go sit on the little porch area, right? Or go outside with your older brother. Now it's going to be like, we need to get in our car and we need to go find you somebody to play with. Like, I didn't grow up like that. And I know that times are different. But I just wanted to share this because, I know a lot of women in this day and age are maybe choosing, if they desire, or if they can, because I know that's a big thing too, if they're medically, and I'm gonna say spiritually able to bear a child, which is a blessing. Some of us chose to wait for academic, personal reasons, finding a mate reason, whatever. I wanted to be married, and so I just wanted to drop this in because, again, these are like kind of like my pregnancy series, with complications. It just seems like nobody, I ain't gonna say nobody, but people aren't having these conversations online. And it just sucks because when I talk to my clients, personal life impacts business. And so this also means that a lot of people are suffering in silence or just have no one to share what's going on with them to anyone. And then on top of that, we can have a whole blended family series on here. Let me know in the chat box if y'all want to know how I have been able to navigate emotionally through blended family ups and downs. It ain't always been down, but when it's down, it's chaotic. I just say that. So, and I say that because when we choose to marry, or for me, remarry later in life, you may find a mate that already has a child. And ideally, the situation with the other parent is going to be cohesive. But we all know in this day and age, that ain't always it. So I'll talk to y'all later. I'm about to head to the nail shop. Let me know what are your thoughts so far about like this new version of a car chit chat, because I'm getting all the way real, right? But I think these kind of chit chats are definitely needed. We don't need to be talking about business all the time. We need to be talking about who are we outside of business. Hello? All right, y'all, you're about to get our nails done. Look at this. Like, they ain't that bad, but they bad enough. Like, and we supposed to be going to a party. My husband got his hair cut. I didn't get my hair done. I'm like, it's doable. I'll take this headband off, do my edges, like, flat iron my hair, curl it. I don't know. As long as my outfit good, I'll figure out this hair thing, do my makeup. My feet are cool, but these nails, I just don't like looking at them. I don't like looking at them. So I'm about to go to the nail shop. All right, y'all, bye. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hope y'all can hear me because I disconnected like my microphone, but wanted to show you my cute little new bag. I got it from Target for my birthday. So it's a cute little black bag, and it's pretty big in terms of the compartments. It has a zipper. It has two sides. It also has an external strap that I haven't used. And then I always love, at this point in my life, I like bags that close. And so it has a button, little snap. Looks like this person is finally getting in their car. These people park like so close to the car. And this parking lot is full. Like, they just got some soul food. I want some soul food. We just had some soul food last night. But made it to the nail shop, ordered my Starbucks, got me a Trenta with a breakfast sandwich. I messed up and did not bring my headphones, so I don't really know how I'm about to watch YouTube at this point. I usually like watch vlogs or something when I'm at the nail shop. But I want to show you my cute little bag. Super cute. And it just makes me feel so womanly. Like, not just a mom with a damn sling bag. And then I'm gonna drink some water because I don't know what it is about when I go to this nail shop. All of a sudden, I just have to like use the bathroom like 4 times. Like, it's like it knows that I need to sit still or something. So I'm gonna drink some water and then I'm gonna get my strawberry refresher. And it's cool, y'all. It ain't 100 degrees. It's 68 degrees right now and it's 11:38. So I got time. All right, let's go to Starbucks. All right, hey y'all, got my nails done. So I did the pink and like orange today, and then I pretty much did this pink on my feet. Feel really good. I definitely need to get back in the habit of like pre-scheduling my appointments, but because of the kids' schedules, I used to be able to like schedule my stuff out like 2 to 3 weeks in advance, but with activities, sports, me and my husband having completely different work schedules than what we had, I'm gonna say like even 60 days ago. I really just need to be able to call. I need to sit down and actually do my schedule for the quarter. Right now, I know my schedule for like my coaching calls, but it's those other opportunities in the in-between that I really need to hone in on and get my schedule. Because the last thing I would want to do is like plan out my self-care stuff and then I don't follow through. And it used to be a point where I was like doing one self-care activity each week. But my kids' schedules look completely different. So like, for example, one week would be nails week. The next week would be hair week. The following week would be either massage or facial. And then after that, you know, I don't know if something else comes up or I want to get another facial or like opposite or whatever. And I'm not saying that I can't go back to that schedule. I just really need to sit down and look at what can be consistent, because your girl is definitely like personality type A. I can go with the flow, but when it comes down to taking care of myself, I'd rather pencil those things in so that they become non-negotiables for me. So I'm gonna head home, make me a chicken salad. I bought like these nuggets. I started buying them a couple months ago. They are from Sam's Club, but they're like the lightly breaded and they taste so much like Chick-fil-A. So I cut those up and put them in a salad. So I'm gonna do that, get my blanket and chill on the couch and then kind of see where my vibe is. If my vibe is to get on the laptop and do some editing, I'll do that. But outside of that, I'm just gonna relax, ideally take a nap, because if we don't leave the house till like 9 o'clock, I don't know, like your girl gonna get sleepy around 10:30. So I definitely need to take a nap and I need to take full advantage of my son not being there. And what I mean by that is like not clean up the whole time he's not there, because I have a real bad habit, kind of like what my grandma does, like she can't sit still. That's the problem, Dorothy. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and get home. Hey y'all, so just got home, freaked out a little bit because I could not see my Fashion Nova delivery, but husband told me that our neighbor got it. So I also decided to change my mind on what I want to eat for lunch. I'm going to actually eat a turkey burger and some French fries and then chill on the couch. So I'm waiting for the neighbor or somebody to text me back, because it's really important that I actually try on, you know, what I want to put on for tonight so I can lay everything out, get my shoes prepared, and all the things. But gonna have some great old Jenny-O turkey burgers. We usually buy the patties that are fresh but like pre-made, you know, from the grocery store. Just talked to my son. He was calling me because he missed me, but then my sister was like, we needed the code to Roblox because I don't know about y'all, but these kids, hold on. The kids with their like adults addiction to social media, kids are addicted to these video games. So all that stuff they be talking about online, and it being, I'm gonna say, a dopamine hit like crack. This stuff is real. And so I started limiting his iPad time specifically for games, and they all have different like times, but like during the weekday, it's literally 30 minutes a day. Like, he's 6. I'm like, you don't need to be on Roblox, like sitting here like this. And Roblox don't have like no parental controls. At least I don't know how to find them. And so what that means is if you're not watching your kid, they could be playing like shooting games and all that stuff. And, I know he wants to be a police officer, every other day, because he'll change his mind and be a doctor, then firefighter. But at the end of the day, those are like the 3 that are consistent. And I personally don't like him playing shooting games. I just don't. I don't have a preference for it. I'm good right now. And so we have like limits on the game where Roblox is 30 minutes. YouTube Kids, I think, is an hour. Because even that, you'd be surprised what come up on YouTube Kids, okay? And then YouTube is an hour. And the only reason that I let him get the regular YouTube, which is my account technically, is that he likes to play the drums. Outside of that, we usually cut it off when he starts watching some of the stuff that even our teenager is watching, like apps. Like, it's not Mr. Beast. He started saying Mr. Beast the other day, but he watches like the other kids with their parents who look like they trying to be Mr. Beast kind of thing. Like, they get a lot of views, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I don't need him to be asking me all these questions about babies, beyond like where babies come from. It's just like a little too descriptive to me. And, even my mom caught it, like, what was this he was watching on YouTube or whatever. And so we restrict where those icons, if you don't have this set up, definitely take a look at it, is you pick a 4-digit code. We pick the code. I don't let him see the code. And let's just say if he's sitting here right next to me and I decide that I want to extend the time, or maybe that day he got out of school early, we did his homework and he's fine. And also it depends on his behavior. If I choose to extend the time, then I put in the code and then it unlocks the app. But otherwise the app go black. Then we started to notice that he was getting irritated. Not irritated, I'm sorry. I was getting irritated because he would, as soon as he come downstairs for breakfast, he would grab the iPad. And I said, oh no, this is becoming like literally an addiction. And so one day I changed it where it doesn't even unlock until 8 o'clock, but we know that he leaves for school at 7:45, between 7:40 and 7:45. So we lock it from 8 to 3 because he get out of school at 2:30. I'm like, nope, you're gonna come home and you're gonna eat like a second lunch, because he don't be eating for real. I mean, he eat, but he a big boy. And then of course we do his homework, and he can't get on it until his homework. So I'm going to say by the time he finishes his homework, to like going outside, to, dinner and taking a bath or a shower, like there's not that many hours in the in-between. So we just have to, as parents, make sure that we are, I'm not going to say keeping him busy, but like do other activities. Like the other day we played this Bluey board game, kind of like a Monopoly, that he got and he really enjoyed it. And so I'm like, okay, we need to find more interactivities that even we can do inside the house, because we live in a place where sometimes it gets too cold or it rains, or like last week for 2 weeks straight, it was over 100 degrees. Well, guess what? They can't go outside in over 100-degree weather out at school and at home. So what does that mean for your kids' activity when you're at home? So, I mean, they really should have provided us with a handbook. I mean, ain't no handbook for parenting. I don't care how many people wrote these books. They're great. But I mean, there's no handbook for your child. I mean, but they should have wrote a handbook, somebody, for having a kid over 35. And don't y'all come for me in the comments talking about you should have had your kid. I see this all the time. People talking about that people should have had kids. I don't even think I got somebody in my community like that. But just in case, disclaimer. I've been seeing people like you should have had kids early, etc. So, I mean, some people would have had kids earlier and they're broke. Like financially and confidence-wise, right? And motivation. So you want me to be broke or a striving college student and have a child, I might have had more energy, right? But I mean, I got energy now. The only difference is I can pick and choose how I work, when I work, even what stream of income I want to promote right now. And so I just feel like as we get older, it's some setbacks that I talked about this morning with like extended family and closeness and everybody kind of doing their own thing. But at the end of the day, no regrets. Ladies, do you if you choose to, and if your body can bear a child, or if you take other paths to, be a mom, whether it's foster, adoption, surrogacy, IVF, whatever the case may be, do you. Don't let nobody in this world, especially right now in the news, Lord, like tell you that like you too old to have a kid. Like biologically, are there things that we need to look out for? Of course. But I mean, if you're over 35, you should have a good doctor anyway, right? And you should have your insurance on point. So ladies, also, if you're thinking about entrepreneurship, don't get up and leave that job. Let me tell y'all what I did real quick. So before I left my job, I compared where my benefits were compared to what I would have to pay for on my own. I specifically looked at maternity leave. And at the time I had my son, I was on early maternity leave, but I was working for the college. They just put me on maternity leave early. And so because I was working for the college, I timed it where I would still get the benefits of the college. So happy. After that, I was on indefinite, like bed rest for a little bit. And then I end up making more money when I got off maternity leave. I couldn't take advantage of whatever the state Medi-Cal is at the time, because that's what they initially give you when you're at the hospital with your baby. You get like, 7, 14, 30 days to get your child benefits. And so, he was able to get benefits from the same provider. But I mean, I paid into this system. let me tell y'all, I paid into this system. So I'm gonna get what I need to get out of this system. Don't let your pride play you. Okay. We've been paying all this Social Security, taxes. What am I paying these taxes for? What am I paying all this stuff on these, what is it called? Pay stubs for like all these years. If I can't even use the services when I'm in need. Yeah, no. Okay. So I took the Medi-Cal, and then we eventually moved over to, our regular provider or whatever. But I'm specifically speaking to y'all entrepreneurs, because y'all be leaving y'all job too prematurely. And I'm not saying to let your job hold you hostage. Hold on, I gotta get my fries. Look, my burger almost ready, and I ain't even put my fries on. I'm not saying to let your job keep you hostage. I'm not saying that. Do your due diligence, stack up money, but what am I looking for? But don't be naive. You know what I'm saying? If you got things to take care of, that you make sure you can afford whatever, I'm gonna say, goals you have. And for me at that time, I knew that I was visualizing maternity. I was manifesting maternity. So I needed to make sure that maternity leave was covered. And I knew exactly how much it would cost if for whatever reason my health insurance turned off. So that's what I did. My insurance did end, but I ended up just paying honestly out of pocket. It was a couple of $100, but I knew that maternity leave would cover me for 5 days in the maternity ward versus paying out of pocket would only cover like 1 or 2. And something told me, go ahead and get the COBRA. And so COBRA is when you let go of a job or whatever, you can get the temporary insurance. It's more money. It's probably even more money than what the company pays. But let's just say if it was like $600, I went ahead and paid for it. Thank goodness, because your girl ended up having a C-section. I ended up being in the hospital for 3 to 4 days. 4 days. Yeah, I was in there for 2 days in labor. And then I was there for, the day of labor, it was like 12 o'clock in the morning. So by the time I got back to my room, it was probably 1 or 2 o'clock after they made sure he latched on, breastfeeding and all that kind of stuff. But then your girl had to learn how to walk with her gut feeling like it's about to fall out of my stomach. It was rough. So I stayed in there the day that I had him. The day after, trying to remember, did I leave the day after, or I think I stayed for 2 days, and the third day I was like, I gotta go. So I did some walking around the ward and all that kind of stuff. But I'm saying all that to say, your girl was so happy that she took out the COBRA when they offered it to her versus trying to say, I could do it all by myself. Yeah, you can do it all by yourself if you want to. And then I would have been hit with that $1,000 a day maternity ward payments. And that's not even PPO, because if you go PPO, talk about out of pocket. Right? So check your insurance, but don't be scared. All right, y'all, let me make my fries, because this is the kind of fries I eat. Like this, it's probably showing up backwards because I'm using the front lens camera for whatever reason, but I use the non-GMO Alexia house cut fries. So these are pretty light. I'm gonna eat my burger on my good roll bread and chill on the couch. Hey, what's up, y'all? So it is 2:36. It's late, but let me show y'all how our sister-in-law hooked us up. So my cousin, who lives with us, went and did a tattoo party, and look what they brought us back: spaghetti and chicken. Okay, they must have known when we got home we'd be hungry. Me and my husband got our own container. I don't have no kind of voice, but I'm about to eat a little bit of spaghetti because I don't want to eat anything too heavy. But clearly, we had a good time. I'm gonna see how long I can sleep in without an alarm, and we'll see how this night goes. I will see y'all in the morning. Bye. Hey, great day, y'all. Welcome back. It is Sunday, and I slept for about 5 hours, so definitely not my lifestyle, but me and my husband got home around 2:30, and then clearly I ate a little spaghetti with a piece of chicken, and then I end up going back to watching this Nigerian Netflix that is like a part 2. I gotta get the name. I'll put it like on the screen. Man, that thing is good, but it definitely kept me up, so I probably shouldn't have done that. I typically will put on something that I've seen before, even like Amazon unwrapping like Disney videos or something like that. That's like 2 different topics, but I'll usually put on a video series that I've seen before, or like a Netflix show that I've seen 1 billion times, because then I don't feel like I'm missing something. At least my brain doesn't register that, and then I will end up falling asleep. So I end up like watching like a episode and a half downstairs, and then I went upstairs. My husband started falling asleep on the couch. I'm like, nah, let's go, because he ate some spaghetti too. So we went upstairs, and then I realized it was like 5:59, because I kind of like dozed off, and then went up and went to the restroom, and then I was like, it's 5:59. So I was like, oh my gosh. He was like, what time is it? Because he like woke up. He fell asleep when I went upstairs and got in the shower. And he was like, you just now getting out the shower? Because he didn't see the clock, right? And I'm like, no, that was like 3 hours ago. But I ended up finishing a series, clearly. And so it was good. It was good. But you got to watch like season 1. So now I'm actually, let me back up. I'm actually on my way to get my son. I saw that he like FaceTimed me at 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, y'all like a little turned up over there. And so, hold on for a second. Okay, so, yeah, my son called late last night at 11 o'clock. And I was like, okay, y'all probably turned up. But I didn't even see the call because I have 2 phones and he only has 1 phone number. But I'm usually, honestly, throughout most of the day, I really need to upgrade my iPhone 14. It's like the smaller one. I need to upgrade it to the big one because I prefer the bigger phone for more of the for the camera quality. And that's what I'm actually videotaping on right now versus like my vlog camera. So I called him back this morning because I woke up at 11. It's 11:40 right now. I woke up at 11. And I called, and then my nephew answered the phone, and he was like, oh, Avery's asleep. And I'm thinking, Avery's asleep? It's 11:30. So then I noticed my sister had sent me like a couple of messages. And see, this is what I'm saying, like, no handbook. But I'm sure like other parents probably drop their kid off with like a laundry list of things. And I didn't tell my sister this one thing because he don't have food allergies or anything, but usually she's a nurse. She had asked me, did he have any food allergies? And what I should have said is, remember, he not eating McDonald's, because he'll trick other people into thinking like, oh, I want McDonald's. And if other kids eat McDonald's, they'll just go to McDonald's. And I'm like, he don't eat beef. And my son's been asking for steak. Like every time he sees in the store, he's like, I want steak. I don't know if he saw it like on a cartoon or something. But I had told him, like, because you've never eaten steak, and it just seems like his stomach is like sensitive like mine, and he is very picky in that he barely eats vegetables. Like, we have to get him like the vegetable pouches. and things like that, but he don't eat like straight up vegetables, right? And I thought that, like, I didn't think that I was the only parent, but I was like, am I tripping? I'm not gonna force my kid to eat, but I need to find another supplement or something, or put something in their food. Like, I've been seeing this Instagram thing for like the vegetable powder, but I get very, I don't want to say paranoid, but I don't even like taking like medication and stuff like that. If the doctor tell me to take it until the pain go away, I will thug out the pain until like it hurts extremely, because I do not like putting a lot of medication into my body. Like, that's the same thing that happened when I was pregnant, wanting to go the natural route. And then they end up doing like the saline thing that didn't do nothing but put me to sleep. And I didn't get no epidural. I checked in at 10 o'clock on Sunday. I didn't get no epidural until like 12 o'clock the next day. I'm like, I'm thugging out. Like, I was contracting, but I'm like, I practice deep breathing. Carlisle, I practice, meditation. I practice visualizing myself on the beach, and that shit was working until his heart rate dropped twice. And like, I was like, this shit started to hurt. But anyways, I digress. So told him he couldn't have the steak, and my mom kept saying she would cook it for him, and then I forgot to remind her when he went over there. But I'm actually glad it didn't happen, because I don't want him to eat like a type of meat that I know, especially steak of all things, or any type of beef overall takes a long time to digest in your stomach. That's why I stopped eating beef, because I've always as a child had a sensitive stomach in terms of just like stomach pains, like I was that kid that had to drink prune juice and stuff like that. So I told him, like, I would prefer that you have steak, beef, when you're out of school for a month, even though he don't know what that means because he on track system, because I don't know what his stomach is gonna do, So he was like, all right. But anyways, my sister was like, yeah, I gave him she said he woke up this morning and she said he ready to go. That's hood for he ready to go. And I'm like, I know what I mean. Excuse my language, y'all. Not the N word, my bad. So my sister hit me up and said he ready to go. And she said in hood language, he ready to go. And I'm like, I know what that means. So she said that he woke up and then they ate breakfast, but then he started saying his stomach hurts. Then he was crying, saying he missed his mommy and daddy. So she couldn't tell if she was like, she had a nurse. She was like, he ain't got no fever, nothing. And so when she sent me a picture, because I kind of skipped over it at first, when she sent me the picture via text, I zoomed in and I was like, oh, he don't eat beef. He be wanting to eat beef. Other people have fed him beef like a burger, but we can tell when he uses the restroom when he's eating something that he's not supposed to. And even when those one or two occasions have happened, his stomach ain't hurt. He just had to go use the bathroom. And she had asked him, does he have to go use the bathroom? And he said no. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, he probably gonna have to use it later, in my head. So needless to say, I'm going to get him, because when I called him back, my nephew had showed him to me on the phone, and he was like laying down in the bed under the cover. He was looking sad, and he wasn't looking like that 6-year-old faking sad either. Like, he was looking sad. So I was like, all right, I'll come get you or whatever. So yeah, that's where I'm. So right now I'm in the drive-through for Starbucks. Have to drive down the street versus around the corner, which is what I prefer, because I noticed that they're like out of everything. And usually, let's just say if it's a refresher, if they're out of like one item, like if they're out of the lemonade, I don't even want the lemonade, but if they're out of the lemonades, they'll say it's sold out. And I'm like, whatever. I probably need to drink some tea anyway, and I for sure need to drink this. What is this? 33.8 below ounces of water. I don't know if y'all go to Sam's Club. This water right here, I know it's showing up backward on my phone because I'm doing a front camera, but this alkaline, ionized hydration, Members Mark, best alkaline water I've tasted outside of the one that came from the mountain that I had at a mastermind meeting before, where it literally came like keg or something. It came in a keg and it came from the mountain. But outside of that, I'm going to update y'all, because I'm probably going to close out this vlog soon, because once he gets home, I'm definitely not putting him on the vlog. He don't feel good unless he hyped up or something. But what I got planned out for the rest of the day is honestly preparing for the week. So what do we have? We have a Aligned Marketing Academy call tomorrow. So I'm going to press the rewind button for a lot of them that are alumni, and we are going to go back to the basics in terms of selecting your digital products, selecting a date, and then let's talk about these launch phases. And then I just want to hear from them and see what their questions are in terms of, what they're needing. We had some people join last week when we opened up the doors. As of right now, that's our last boot camp for the year, because we are moving into another arena where it seems like therapists need the most help, which is their solo practice and group practice. If you don't know, or if you're new here, hey, my name is Dr. TK, clinical psychologist, therapist, business coach, and digital product mentor. I mainly serve healers, therapists, service providers, and we are living in a time where a lot of them that I've met have fluctuation in their private practice, insurance, and private pay. And it's just, to me, it's boiling down to like, do you know how to market, and do you want to market? Do you know how to niche down? Do you know what your niche is, and then niche up later? So I'm going to start creating content around private practice, group practice, therapists wanting to open up a coaching business, and really like outlining what that looks like. Because after I've had some MVP sessions with some of the therapists, some of them have done a really good job, but beyond the planning phase, they haven't really launched the product. So I really want to help them like just really understand what goes into building a coaching business and group practice, and then what is their why behind it, and why is it important that they understand operating systems. Clearly, like if this is you and you want to know like all the steps, I mean, you would have to be my client, because they get like a whole portal, they get group mastermind calls, they get one-on-one access with me or Voxer, depending on which program you go into. But that's the season that we're going into for the fourth quarter. Now, the one thing that I did want to talk to you about is something that I put on Instagram the other day about the 12-week year. I don't know if I had said that in this video yet. So I am starting to I may not re-listen to the whole book, because I just need to listen to the parts that's going to get me focused. But I'm back in the mode of like creating a 12-week year. And ultimately, a 12-week year is a mental mindset shift of how you can get more done in a 12-week period of time, aka 90 days, aka a quarter. But they call it a 12-week year because some people, what do they say? Like, you overestimate what you could do in a year, you underestimate what you could do, whatever the quote is. Let me see if I can link that on the screen. But like, I'm too clouded right now. But ultimately, some people don't think that they can actually reach their goals. So what does that mean? People are not really, to me, people extend their deadlines and their time for meeting their goals for no reason. So with the 12-week year, you basically make, let's just say, up to 3 goals. And I would suggest to cross the goals over, if you desire, for different areas. So like one for personal, one for business, maybe one for money, I don't know, relationship, something. And the goal is that you work relentlessly. That doesn't mean you don't get no sleep, but you work on those goals, and then you break down those goals into mini goals. And so, I mean, it makes sense, right? You have an overarching goal. So let's just say if your overarching goal is typical, like losing 10 pounds. So over the next 12 weeks, you may say, I want to lose 10 pounds, when in reality, you could probably lose the 10 pounds in 60 days, like not 120. And so, well, what would it take for you to lose the 10 pounds? Well, it would take you being committed to making a gym schedule, figuring out your nutrition, maybe meeting with a nutritionist. But what would you do every single day? It's like taking score. And a lot of times the reason why people don't track their goals and track goals in business even is because you don't track what you're doing. And I notice literally when I have made a numerical plan to get something done and I attach a why, it's game over. So for example, in 2020, I made a goal to do 85 podcast episodes to make it 100. And I did it in 9 months. The following year, I said I'm gonna do another 100. Did it by December 1st because I was batch recording. I had to make a schedule for myself. Hold on. All right, so I got my refresher. Got the kids their raccoon cake pops. And now we're headed off. We got about a 35-minute drive. So maybe we'll just chit chat and then I'll probably wrap up the vlog when I go get him. Because I need to be attentive to my baby. Make sure. I always get confused, like when I get on these freeways. All right. trying to think, which is, it's one of those streets where you have to make a U-turn no matter what. So yeah, so going with the goal of like 10 pounds in the podcast thing, and that's where I left off. So I didn't use a 12-week per se, but it's the same mentality of a 12-week year versus just saying this is what I'm about to work on right now. So I said, I'll actually show you the steps, because this is what would have happened if I ultimately would have used a book, right? So I said in March of 2020, I'm going to make it up to 100 podcast episodes. Now, where the 100 came from, I don't know. But what I did know is that my why was so strong in that season, because we all know what happened in March 2020 in LA, across the world, but March for us was like the shutdown period. And I devised that goal on like Tuesday. We shut down on Monday. Okay. So I devised the goal, and I wasn't thinking about no revenue. I mean, ultimately I ended up launching my program like earlier and more, like 7 times that year, but I wasn't thinking about no revenue. I was thinking about ultimately my mission. My mission is to reach and teach 1,000 therapists per year. I didn't even have that mission until that year. That's why I tell some of my clients, like when I'm doing these assessments on your business, even if you don't have some of these things in place, it's okay. I just want you to be aware that this is what drives the forces for you to get stuff done and to ultimately walk into your purpose, right? And so, like, use your gift. And so I had said I wanted to reach and teach 1,000 therapists, like, minimum each year. And I wasn't a stickler with, like, the how. I wasn't like, you can be, but I wasn't like, I need to hit 1,000 people in my coaching programs and 1,000 people on YouTube. I said, no, I want to reach and teach. So to me, reach could be not running Facebook ads, but how many email addresses am I getting? I didn't count email addresses, but I was focused on how many people actually were attending my boot camps, attending or watching the replays of my CE workshop. I was actually counting the people who were engaging with me, who joined my coaching programs, who came to live events, like all those things. And I've met that goal every single year. So my why was strong because I saw that therapists in that state were really struggling with. Now a lot of them are getting a lot of clients and they don't know what to do with them. It wasn't a marketing issue back then. It was really about like, I don't have the systems prepared to catch all these clients. That's why I tell therapists that particular line. Like, it's, some of y'all may even know how to market yourself really good online, or maybe you get insurance clients. The thing is, the clients won't stick because you don't even have a system even for treatment for them to stick outside of your coping strategies. Like, that's not good enough. You feel me? No, like a lot of people don't want to be in therapy for the rest of their life, And so I start hyper focusing on the podcast. So what did that look like? I made a schedule and I sat down and said, I went to Google, and you can do this. You can go to Google right now and say, based on a goal, how many weeks are left in the year? How many days are left in the year? How many Fridays are left in the year? Because let's just say you say I'm gonna go live every Friday. So when I looked it up and did the division, it said that I needed to record 6, if I wanted to be done by or before like Christmas, I needed to record no less than 5 to 6 podcast episodes a week. I wasn't doing video back then. I was only doing audio. I didn't even count like any lives that I did because I was like boot camps. And so I said, bet, I got to record like 5 to 6 episodes a week. So I started like that week. I might have recorded like 3 to 4. And then I literally carved out 2 days a week, regimented on my schedule on a recurring theme. At that time, my son went back. He started daycare. And so initially, just to let y'all know, because some of y'all gonna like use, I'm gonna say an excuse of like, oh, my kid get home early, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So you gotta work your way around that. That's what I mean by hustle mentality. So at first my son was going 2 days a week, half days, because we needed to get warmed up to him going to daycare too. And he needed to get warmed up. He was 2.5. And then he went from, and you know what? He didn't even start school until like November. So I had to figure this out while that boy was jumping up and down the stairs. Like, we were homeschooling all these kids right back then. So that was, to me, shit even worse. And so I had to figure out, well, when will be quiet time, etc. But when they went back to school, I had to like carve out time. Like, okay, if he's going to be home during these times, I need to make sure to communicate with my husband. When do I need his support? Can he take the kids outside if we were able to even go outside? Probably not. And so what can we do around the house? Can you take them for a walk? Go to the mailbox. Let me do something to record. So because I knew that my schedule was very limited, your girl was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to work out, home workouts, because our gym wasn't open. At 5 o'clock, I would get dressed, do my meditation prayer religiously. And then at 6 o'clock, I would start recording. I will be done recording by like 7:30. Why? I don't give myself scripts, but I do base myself off of bullets. Like when I'm in a car like this, it's more like chit chat conversational. But when I'm in front of my phone, my laptop, I will have like bullet points, and then I'll free flow it, with a conversation. And so that's how I was able to get to 100. Then I made a big deal out of it. I made a party about it online on YouTube for 2 years in a row. And then after that, my why shifted. My why shifted into helping therapists start to scale their business. And that started to happen in 2020. But I just made it more of my focal point. And I just felt like I had recorded at that point 215 podcast episodes that I was just like, okay, do I want to switch things up? I think that was the same year I joined a group that did Vlogmas that pretty much encouraged you to do a YouTube video, because I wanted to tap into YouTube after doing like boot camps or whatever. I like wanted to do like a Vlogmas. So I did the Vlogmas when I got the braces and decorated the tree. It's basically you low-key releasing a vlog every single day until Christmas. You got to prep for that. You got to prep for that. Okay. Usually people are recording early to then drop it on December 1st and keep going. But I'm just sharing that with you because that is a short version of how you can see results. I don't know what's in mine. You can see results in a short period of time, even though mine was like throughout the years because I spaced it out that way. I could have said, you know what, I'm going to record. We were at home. I'm going to record 3 episodes a day. I'm going to record 1 episode a day, 2 episodes a day, whatever. And I could have been done with my goal before I was done. But get this, I was well beyond 100 episodes by December 31st because I just stayed on the schedule for another year of batch recording. So what is it that you want to work on? Let's just say it's September in the 4th quarter of 2024. One thing I share with my clients is, how do you want to start this year? We are next year. We are running into a tricky quarter of the year that is technically wrapping up your year. So you need to check your goals. But then also you are devising a plan, I hope, of what you want to do in 2025. And so a lot of people don't think about it like that. And then when they get back from Christmas break, it's like they're either exhausted, potentially because they didn't take it for real. My 3 R's are relax, recharge, and reset. So maybe people didn't actually take the time out to do their triple R's. I got that from like R&R from my homeboy that was in the military. He was like, we do R&R, and he go to Thailand or whatever. And I'm like, we're going to do triple R's, So I like made it up from him. I don't even know what his R&R stand for. It might have something to do with that. But when you start the year, it's like you feel flooded. You didn't finish your paperwork from last year. You need to submit insurance claims. It's just like all of this stuff because you treat it like Christmas, the end of the year, the last week of the year. You treated it like a regular dang on week in a year. It's not a regular week. It's the end of a year. It's a closeout of your fiscal year for your business, right? And so read the 12-week year. I'll pop it up right here on the screen. I'll link it up in my Amazon. It's in my Amazon store. I would highly recommend to get the physical book and get the Audible so that you can actually listen to it. I don't like the guy's voice on the Audible. I do speed it up. I am a fast reader, just like I'm a fast talker. I put it on like 1.5 speed. But to me, it's a good refresher book if you've read it before, to read it again for the new year. So my closeout of this vlog is create a goal for the 4th quarter that you can follow through on. And if you need a tool to help you get focused on the goal, no matter what the goal is, then try a 12-week year. I can guarantee you, you're not going to resent it. And P.S., if they, they give you resources in the book, but you can go on Etsy. I do not recommend doing this unless you've read the book because it's going to be, you won't know what to do with the information. It's like, you will get access to a Google Sheet. I bought one like a long time ago, like probably 3 years ago. But you can go on Etsy and put in like 12-week year Google and find someone who has, if you use Google Sheets, find someone who has a Google Sheets version. Look at the pictures to see, because they have different ones, to see which one you like. But I bought one. I even shared it with my mastermind clients, and they start implementing some of them. All of them implemented it in the beginning, but it ain't but a week to be consistent. So not all of them were going back to the form, but basically you start keeping score. Like if I say I'm going to record 2 times a week, I have to go on this little part of the Excel sheet. I put in my mini goal, like record 3 episodes, and then I have to give myself a tally. And when you give yourself a tally, it scores it up automatically based off these people's calculation and formulations. It calculates it for you so that you can know if your goal was met. It's pretty dope. And it does work for you, especially if you're like a planner type person. You don't have to be extra planner, but if you like checklists and stuff, it's just going to soothe that part of your brain so much. But even if you don't, it just, again, helps you stay on track. So check out the 12-week year. I really hope that you've enjoyed my full 24 hours hanging out with me, talking about a variety of things. I love to do these. I really want to drop these ideally like once a week, where it's like business content and then some type or form of lifestyle content. Again, if you're new here, if you want to come back, I hope that you do. Subscribe. I have a variety of different playlists on the channel. Also, make sure that y'all to check out my live stream tab on YouTube. There's a lot of hidden nuggets there because people may not click live stream. And there's a lot of workshops on there, or, just various up-to-date topics and stuff like that. So click the like button to this video. I've enjoyed y'all. I hope to see y'all back. I know some of y'all be watching and you're not subscribed. So what we doing? Okay, commit to your girl. Come on back so that we can notify you when another video drops. But I will see y'all in the next video. Have a blessed day. Bye.